What's up, guys? If you're interested in hanging out and chatting with me while I grab footage that you'll likely see in future videos, head on over to my Twitch channel linked in the description below, where we can talk all things COD, gaming, whatever life throws at us. Hope to see you there, but let's get back into the content at hand. Okay, so Season 5's first official teaser yesterday, the wordplay was a bit small, especially by comparison, but today, Call of Duty delivered. We got a much bigger look at the narrative direction of Season 5, and even, based upon some screen grabs and some promotional imagery, some content that we can actually expect to see coming next week, such as a weapon among other things with the seasonal refresh. Today I want to break down all of it with you so you're entirely in the know for what's upcoming. But as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you excited to see the return of Shadow Company? Are you looking forward to any particular weapon? Do you think that the nuke will go off and we'll see some resolution to that long-standing Easter egg in Warzone? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know down below. As well, if you are new to the channel, especially if you're a part of that 58% of viewers not subscribed, do be sure to do so you don't miss a single thing in relation to Season 5 of Modern Warfare and Warzone, and what very well could be a COD 2020 reveal coming along shortly thereafter. But anyways, let's jump into it. First, for those that have not seen it, check out the trailer. I think it's pretty good.
We are soldiers, each our own force. Join the Armistice. Join the Armistice Alliance. Stand up for your
brothers. He was right until that treaty collapsed and chaos set in. Now we got friends on the ground who need professionals to get the job done right. Shadow Company has actionable intel and the best warfighters money can buy. So I ask you, who do you want to be? And who do you want on your team? Join us.
So first things first, this is more of a narrative trailer here. It sets up the world and where we're at in the Modern Warfare storyline. Season 4 introduced us to 141, the crew at the very top of the Armistice Alliance. But with Zakhaev and Khaled al-Assad still making headway, it seems like that wasn't enough. So we're now introduced to the Shadow Company, a PMC or private military contractor, and their only job is to get shit done. By their definition, they go outside the boundaries of the original Armistice with a framework and agenda of their own. They're not really concerned with Price or 141's leadership, but instead have recruited operators to bypass that chain of command and just go directly to Zakhaev's doorstep and take the fight head on. Now, the operators that we know of in Shadow Company include Marcus, Lerch, Ortega, Roze, and Velikan. Now, Lerch is who we first heard from in those teasers as of last week from the letters that Nick, TP, and Jack Frags got along with their video teasers as well. Now, he's not the main one in charge of the Shadow Company. His bio states that when the CEO of Shadow Company came across Lerch's dossier, he was the perfect combination of skill and moral flexibility, and that there's no contract also that Lerch won't take or no challenge that he won't face. So he's a hired gun as the rest, but he's not that top dog. Now, while it's unlikely that he's the CEO, the question of Shepard's involvement is definitely something that you can ask yourself. I mean, since the original storyline, they were still mercs and still a PMC, but they were under the hired command of Shepard, so the involvement definitely raises some questions for the future narrative of where we go with Modern Warfare as well. So maybe we see him because he has been mentioned in the campaign at the very end, and he's out there in the universe, just not directly in front of us. Roze, of course, is a face that we saw introduced as of this season. She joined the mercenary group of the Jackals whenever introduced into the storyline, but has now spun off to be a part of the Shadow Company. And then Velikan is one also that is a newer operator here, but we don't have really any information about him. They end up describing him as a shadow of a shadow, and having talked with my good friend Inkslasher, he's pointed out that actually is something that we've heard from ghosts. So it could be something that we know of this character, but obviously it's just not revealed to us just yet. Though, wouldn't it be interesting if this actually turned out to be Woods and that's where his game files came from beforehand? I don't think that's the case, but that'd be quite the plot twist here with that one. Interestingly enough, though, Mace is not a part of, at least detailed, a part of Shadow Company, even though in Season 3, I want to say it was, he actually had a uniform released where he had the Shadow Company patch on his person. So Mace, as a mercenary, even referenced, was one of the reasons why Roze ended up getting into the Jackals. Doesn't seem like he's a part of Shadow Company, or at least the main trio here that we're being detailed. Now, out of the trailer, what's interesting is that right now, they're seemingly painted as the good guys. They're a sub-branch of the factions that we know, with Allegiance hiring them out. So a sort of smaller faction that just wants to take action underneath one of the wings of the Armistice Alliance. But it seems like they're these guys that are just tired of waiting around for the bureaucratic chain of command and are just like, screw it, let's go kill Z. So where their storyline progresses and where it goes to is still up in the air and for time to tell. But with what we know of right now, it's interesting that they're being painted as the good guys, because in the original trilogy, in the original storyline, well, that's not exactly what they were. So we'll see how long that lasts, how long these good intentions take to warp, unless maybe they do decide to completely rewrite what we know about Shadow Company and make Shadow Company a good guy per se. That would definitely be the plot twist and a half, but that's something to keep in mind. Now, what's interesting also is the fact that right now, with the trailer, there really wasn't all that much that was brand new that we can look to for Season 5. Outside of a few bunker shots and shots that introduced the Shadow Company, everything else was just reused trailer footage spliced in with some digital distortion and some lens flares and stuff like that, similar to that Story So Far trailer that we got before the launch of Season 4, introducing us to Task Force 141, but also letting us know where we're at in that storyline, progressing it ever so slightly and keeping players up to date with where the narrative was going. I thought that maybe we'd see at least one frame that showed us something new, perhaps hidden in that digital distortion that we kept seeing, but that wasn't the case again outside of that shot of the bunkers, which just looked to be approaching Bunker 11 and a little bit inside of it, that being Price and Gaz exploring a little bit of what we saw here in Season 3 actually. But when you take a look at the thumbnail for that trailer, that's the first part where we can see a couple of things that are new. We can also see some of this in the detailed blog post about Shadow Company, to which right now I'm thinking we can see a little bit of what is a new map and also a new weapon coming within Season 5, though they haven't been officially detailed just yet. Firstly, in terms of the new map, that is something that we can see directly from the thumbnail image of this Season 5 story trailer and the introduction of Shadow Company. This thumbnail image showcases a few operators approaching a flag, whether that be the flag in Capture the Flag or in a domination match. That actually is kind of important to know, but we just don't have any information on which that is, but it's actually the lower portion of the parking structure by Airport in Verdansk. So in my mind, we're either getting a 6v6 portion here that is a smaller scale set piece cut out for 6v6 play at Airport, or what I would imagine is more likely is that it's a new ground war map coming within MP, similar to how we've seen all the other ground war maps have some sort of tie to the map of Verdansk. You have Port of Verdansk, you end up having Karst River Quarry, you end up having Tovorsk District, you end up having Krovnik Farmland, you end up having Baraket Promenade, and so on and so forth. I would imagine that this is just also once again taken straight from the world of Verdansk, cut out, and then put into its own separate ground war map. That's what we've seen plenty of times, and to me that's the most likely. But what's also interesting is the fact that in that same thumbnail, off in the distance, you can see a weapon that looks to be one you may not recognize. And when you take a look at, again, some of that promotional imagery within the Shadow Company blog, detailing it a little bit further, having some of those bios, that weapon's actually more prominently displayed. And a lot of people, myself included, are thinking, wait, that might be the AN-94. And when you consider the look of the current AN-94 in the real world, that's something that it does match up. It looks to be something that could be our first official look at the next weapon within Modern Warfare. And what backs it up, of course, is that there has been game files for a little bit of time now that indicated the AN-94 was going to be coming. That's only one of the weapons here that we'd end up seeing, of course, within Season 5. The rest, we have absolutely no idea what they could be. Based off that same image that we just talked about here at Airport, it does almost look like, along with that AN-94 off in the distance, the two weapons in the foreground kind of look like the APC-9, which has been in the game files for quite some time, and last we had heard about it, it almost seemed like it was going to be scrapped, a cut weapon, because there really wasn't all that much worked on it. But it seems like that actually may not be the case, and that finally it could be coming around here despite being in the game files for so long. Additionally, it's rumored that Intervention could be coming, it's rumored the R700 could be coming, but right now we just don't have anything in front of us that, like this, shows us what could be a weapon within Season 5. but it's interesting to consider no less that we could have seen this stuff inadvertently teased to us here just via the marketing that we see with this new trailer. But anyways, that's where we're at here at Fifth. That's what we have in brand new information for Season 5. Shadow Company definitively returning, looking like they're the good guys for right now. How long that will last, your guess is as good as mine, but as a story nerd, I am incredibly excited to see where this goes here with Season 5, for the progression of Shadow Company, for the progression of the narrative overall, and all things in between. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. I would love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Firstly, do you trust the Shadow Company? Do you think they're going to pull a fast one and betray everyone else in the Armistice Alliance? Do you think it's something that maybe they are the good guys? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But as well, let me know what weapon you want to see. I'd be curious to see if you think that's the AN-94 and that confirms that here, like is being rumored. Whatever it is, let me know your thoughts. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff we get you covered here on the channel, especially as we round into Season 5. There's going to be so much to talk about, so make sure you stick it here on the channel for all of that. Of course, if you want to get connected with me outside of YouTube, I practically live on both Twitter and Instagram, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. Mine is Espresso. I'm excited for Season 5. Hopefully you guys are as well. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care and peace.